Welcome to Candlelit Blowjobs, an intimate experience between two cousins, Branden
and Lewis,
Sit back, light the candles,
and try some of those bath salts.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Candlelit Blowjobs.
Hey, Branden, how are you?
Hey, that was really soft. I barely heard you, bud. You gotta...
I know. How about
No.
now?
Barely.
You don't want
If this is your first time joining us, this is a special show that Lewis and I do every once in a literal blue moon because we don't have a schedule for the show, and we talk about anything. It doesn't have a structure. We just talk. It's way shorter than our other show, our flagship show. It's more of an intimate experience, which I got the name from a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Danny, where he says that a heart to heart is a candlelit blowjob. I don't know why. Don't ask. So as Lewis was saying, this is not only a special show, it's a menage a trois. I hope I said that correctly. I know I've said that before on this show. The third that is joining us, that lovely lady voice that you heard, female voice, is Naomi, my cousin's fiance. So that's why I'm saying this is weird. The movie is split up into skits. There are 7 little skits, and so I'm watching this movie and I'm like, all right, cool. This is like dry, and then it doesn't get any better. And I felt so abused.
Honestly, and it's him trying to find his place in both film as a director and as a writer. And Naomi actually brought up a good point if you want to bring it up previously.
I did?
Yes.
About?
The little history of why this movie got made.
Oh. So I was reading about it. It is based off of a book of the same title, and the author of the book was on a talk show, and he used one of Woody Allen's jokes where the host asked him, "Is sex dirty?" And he said, "It is if you're doing it right," which was a famous Woody Allen joke before that. And Woody Allen heard about it and was not so happy, so he decided to make this movie because as a way of getting revenge, but he didn't actually read the book. He flipped through the chapter titles and wrote the movie off of it. And the author really was not too happy about that because he said that this movie portrays sex as bad and bad things come from it, when actually his book is supposed to be all about the positive side of sex, even though it's got the kind of weird titles like, are transvestites homosexuals and what is bestiality and all that. So it's actually was a little spat between this famous doctor who wrote the sex book and Woody Allen.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
But the thing about this movie is that it's controversial even now, which I think is really cool because you think of the 70s as a very reserved, sort of cautious time with filmmaking, and even now the topics are really taboo.
Yeah, they are.
Everything that's brought up in it is still can still, especially with very conservative audiences, make them go, "What is he thinking?" And it's really hard to do that, to throw off an audience now in 2020 with anything about sex. It's really actually pretty cool that this movie still can push the envelope.
It still holds up. And I think that's where I kind of enjoyed this movie a lot was, yes, it is very, very campy the way that it's portrayed.
Yes.
But again, this is Woody Allen's film school. This is him learning how to direct a film. This is one of his first films where he actually got control, where he was actually given control by the studio to do what he wanted to do. And this is what he produced. This was his first real project that he had under his wing 100%. And then he went on to do these classics like Annie Hall, like Manhattan, where it really does push just the envelope of romantic comedies and all that. And this was that first step, though. You always have to have that first step. And I think this movie is important in film history because of that. It's just fun.
But there is that segment, the Italian one, the wife, she can only have sex in public in that particular segment of it. And that was actually his wife at the time who was in that, but it was his ode to Italian filmmaking. It's his favorite one out of the movie. And I think that's really interesting because it's the most serious of all of them. It is the most artsy. and it's very much in Woody Allen's style. And it's interesting that that's the one that he gravitated to is like his personal favorite.
I couldn't get past Woody Allen like speaking in really shitty Italian. Also, like that whole skit, like I was about to bring up that skit, the one with that his wife can't I guess get off without having like she's like a voyeurist, like she's an exhibitionist. That skit ends so abruptly and fucking weird that I'm like, what the fuck?
It's my least favorite out of them. It's the one that I have the most trouble kind of, and it's not because it's in Italian. It's just, it to me, it's the least interesting of all of them.
I agree.
But I think it is because it's kind of that artsy, very esoteric Italian film style that if you're not into it, he did it so well, you kind of get disengaged from it. Yeah. So personally, it's not my favorite. Mine will always be the last one. Yeah. Where he is a sperm, because I think that is so great.
That is the best one, dude. And then you have like dreamy Burt Reynolds. You can just look at Burt Reynolds the entire time and you're like, damn, dude, you're hot.
I just love the stomach. The stomach sequence is just great.
I am sorry. When they are trying to roll out that erection.
Yes.
They're like, and her reaction, she's like, I'm not laughing. You know, I felt every man could relate to that on so many levels.
It was funny. Like, I like that last one, like when they bring in the priest and it was like, he was trying to sabotage everything. I'm like, that's funny.
Or like when the girl says that she's from New York University, they're like, we're going to get some tonight.
That shit's funny, but I don't know, man. Just the skits were like the tit. You guys brought up the tit one. They come in pairs. It's like, bruh.
I just imagine those things, those little balls that roll around and the people stand in the middle of them. I can imagine that with a giant boob in front of it and do that nowadays, and I would just love to see people's reactions.
Dude, no, that one is so like something they would review on like MST3K, like with the boob running away and all that. It is so horrible. It's good. Like it's so bad that it's good.
Did you pick this movie because R.I.P. Regis Philbin when he's on the talk show in the movie?
Oh, what's my perversion?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. When I saw him, I was like, damn, Regis Philbin? He looked young as fuck. How old was he then? Let's see what year he was born. He was born in 1931, so he's like in his 40? Yeah, he's like 41. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It felt so dry compared to, comparing it to like Monty Python and all that shit. Like, I don't know. It felt really, really dry. I just did not. The humor did not connect with me, even though I did like the final one when it's like them in the body and all that shit. That was pretty funny and
if you like that one, I think you might like Sleeper. It's another Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, I know the cover of that movie.
Yeah, that he goes into the future, and my favorite part though is the orgasm machine. It's basically like a tanning booth that makes you have an orgasm. Somebody latches Woody Allen into it for like hours, and then when he comes out, he's like,
Did like the sperm? They actually have like a little tail in the movie. Like they legit look like a sperm.
And I love the line also when he says, "Oh, I've heard stories about people that they end up on the roof, on the ceiling."
What if he's jerking off? We could end up on the ceiling.
It's just, man.
Okay, but this is like Woody Allen towing into what he's really good at, which is taking very, very offbeat, eccentric stories and turning them into a movie, which he became really good at later on because he's always been known for kind of taking those abstract concepts and trying to bring them to life. And I think this is one of the first examples when he had control over that.
Yeah. And this was also, remember, coming off the cusp of Kentucky Fried Film, where these like kind of skit comedy movies were a thing.
Well, it's almost got like a Saturday Night Live vibe to it. The mini skits coming together to make a whole that they don't connect together on any level apart from they're all about sex. But
that's a good ass movie though, Kentucky Fried Movie. Sorry,
you like that? Yeah, you don't like this. It's same humor.
I don't know. Maybe it's done in a way that I'm like, oh, this is clever. I just didn't. I didn't. I didn't find any of the skits minus the last one to be clever. I don't know. The jester one was meh. What is sodomy? The one with the fucking sheep is fine. Whatever. It's just weird. Water Troop.
The last one are my favorite. I think all of us agree that the last one is the best one.
Yes.
I think drawing that conclusion is
Yeah,
pretty...
no, I think so.
But
I think of all of them, it's the most well thought out, and it's kind of a complete story.
it has the best execution too.
And it's got Tony Randall, which is just awesome. He's just amazing in that.
Like the one with the talk show, it's just weird. Like it ends with the whole like the rabbi having his perversion, which is his wife eating fucking pork and
pork chops at his feet while he's getting like bitch slapped by the model.
Yeah, and then she's like dominant. Like I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? What
that
is
one
this
is
movie?
really weird. And you know that guy who's on there, he really does look like a pervert from a million miles away. Like.
And then are the findings of doctors and clinic? Which one's this on? Oh, the one with the boob. Yeah. Just and then the boob looks really funny, and it's just like squirting like milk. And they find that dude dead, and I'm just like, what am I watching? What did Lewis make me watch?
And I get this text message from Branden, and he's like, "What the hell am I watching?" And I'm like, I literally start bursting out laughing. And I tell the two people that are sitting next to me, like, I made him watch this movie, and they're like, "Oh, why would you make him watch that movie?"
I'm surprised they know what the fuck that is, man.
A lot of people know this movie, believe it or not, especially like the ones that are in their late 30s, early 40s. A lot of people know this movie.
That surprises me, actually. It's not a very mainstream movie. I mean, unless you're a Woody Allen fan, I feel like you wouldn't.
I remember hearing about this. I heard about this in like my teens. I just never watched it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, but you've always been in the zeitgeist.
With the bunnies. I don't know. I love the beginning with the bunny rabbits.
but Lewis, you've always been in the zeitgeist of film and shit like that. Like you're into that shit. You know, your normal like person, like regular Joe Schmo, like my dad. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what the fuck this movie is. You know?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I don't know,
because of the cast. You also got to remember the cast of this movie was stellar.
Oh, what with Genewilder?
Yeah. This was like
I was about to say Woody Harrelson. I'm like, that's the wrong actor, dude.
This is the version everybody of our generation knows the movie Rat Race. Why? Because of the ensemble cast. This is that generation's Rat Race. Even though you've never seen it, you've heard about it.
Bro, other than Woody Allen, fucking Genewilder and Burt Reynolds, who else, bro?
What do you call it? What's his name? Oh my God.
There's Tony Randall in it.
Tony Randall was huge back then.
Burt Reynolds. Lynn Redgrave.
Lynn Redgrave was another one that was huge too in that era.
Regis Philbin.
Yeah.
I don't know these other.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a star-studded cast. I don't know, man.
But
it has a lot of people, which back then it wasn't a commonplace.
Yeah, and back then, you know, I mean, you gotta think you're not the demographic for that movie. I mean, people were in their, I'd say 50s or 60s would probably know more of the actors because they grew up with them.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but that's what Woody Allen does. He gets A-list actors out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
He pushes them.
I'm just surprised that like a movie like this was made in the 70s. I know the 70s were wild and shit, but like, you know.
We're actually just talking about that recently, that the 70s was kind of, it was this artistic revolution that occurred, that the studios actually, they went bust in the 60s. So they came back in the 70s with kind of this, let's give the artists power. Let's let them do whatever the fuck they want. We'll give them the money and hope for the best. And there's a lot of, directors and writers and stuff like that that really went out there and really far out there. So you have like these classic films that have come out of there. Clockwork Orange probably would never have been made in the fucking 60s, 80s, or 90s. That movie would never have been made. If it went,
or it would have been made and censored very heavily.
Yeah, even then it was still censored.
Yeah, that's true. But the 70s were also that sexual revolution time. So there were a lot of movies that actually focused on sex because I think they had just loosened the censorship on it. So they were kind of taking it to the nines when they could.
And 70s were wild. We're coming off of the hippies. Like everyone's on fucking doing cocaine, listening to fucking disco.
Because the thing is that the censors, they didn't exist. The MPAAs didn't exist at that time. What it was actually government and studio censorship. Each studio had their own sensory board, that were part of church people and all that stuff. Once the studios went bust, all that fell apart. They fired everybody and literally were like just producers, executive producers, and directors that were on there. There was no actors on payroll anymore. None of that existed anymore. So they literally dropped all those studios down to like the bare minimum skeleton crew. All those. That's when the MPAA actually came around, was because the studios had no oversight anymore.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the MPAA is actually made up of people part of the guilds and stuff like that.
See, when you don't know something, I wish this was a video so that we could put the more you know with the rainbow and the star.
But yeah, and that's why the 70s was so like epic, because
No, I'm not gonna have this argument with you again, because I think the 70s was esoteric and dry and boring for the most part, and it's a dark part of filmmaking, is my personal opinion.
you got a lot of amazing movies that came out in the 70s.
You have some amazing movies that came out in the 70s, and some of it was like these artists, and they're very long, drawn out, slow movies that intellectuals seem to enjoy so much.
Cinema?
But you got Scorsese that came out of there. You had as much as I fucking hate him, Lucas came out of there. You had Spielberg that came out of that era. All these directors that are our big directors nowadays all came out in the 70s. Why? Because they were given artistic freedom and they were allowed to do what they wanted to do. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have these major... Nobody would know who Spielberg is. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Not know who Spielberg is.
What did Spielberg come out with in the 70s?
That's when he started.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws? Oh.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, y'all should know this. Spielberg.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaws, which is my favorite movie of all time.
Really? Jaws?
Yes.
See, both of our favorite movies of all time came out in the 70s. Clockwork Orange, for me, and Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
I will not retract my statement. Intellectuals who like boring movies.
Wait. So
I'll never get invited back again.
This is why our show has no, because we're just going into some random ass territory now. What, you don't like Jaws? Have you ever seen Jaws? Or
I have seen Jaws, and after the first 20 minutes, I feel like you could kind of step away for an hour and not really miss anything, and then come back and see the end, and you're kind of good.
Oh, come on, that's blasphemy.
Oh man, you're missing out, dude. That movie's so good.
That's blasphemy. Come on.
I've seen it once. I was kind of like, okay, we're good.
The movie's so good. Holy shit.
You officially got on Brandon's shit list.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's just okay. I feel like Jaws is there's 20 minutes of a lot of action and noise, and it's really cool to watch. But then there's really long bits of a lot of talking, sort of like what is that filmmaker, that amazing, in quotes, Japanese filmmaker, where there's lots of long talking scenes about action that never happens. What is that name again, Lewis?
Oh my god, is she? Damn, what did you show her, dude?
I showed her Kurosawa.
Which one? I know it was Kurosawa.
Oh, I tried to get her to watch Dreams, and that completely failed. She was like, what the fuck am I watching?
They were cats dancing in the forest.
I'm telling you. Okay, so Ron is incredible. That movie, artistically, is...
Oh my god, no. There was long sitting, and there was sitting talking about sitting, and then there was sitting and looking at each other while they were sitting. The only thing that was good in that movie is the bitch with the horns.
Okay, the thing is, Naomi, coming from someone that, I'm going to harken back to anime that I always do, Japanese media has, a really weird, pacing that is, not, the same as, American media.
Yeah.
For instance, I'll watch, an animated show that's American, let's say, Star Wars Rebels, and I could, binge, 10 episodes of that shit in a day, and then I watch an anime, and I can do, 4, and then my brain is, and that's coming from that. I like that show. It's just the pacing is really weird, and it's just different. But I understand, Kurosawa films are slow.
It was very slow, and there was just we were literally about halfway through, and I'm like, there can't be that much left of the story. And he's like, no, we're almost done, and it's gonna get good. I'm like, oh my god, there's an hour and a half left of this shit. And he's like, yeah, but the last 30 minutes makes it all worth it. I'm like, oh god, no, I'm dying. I can't get like really long, slow bits in a movie, and then there's like 2 minutes of action, and then an hour of talking about action that's going to happen.
Have you ever seen Lawrence of Arabia?
Yes, I have actually.
And
Yeah.
did you
What do
enjoy
you?
it?
Yeah,
No.
did you? I was gonna ask her. I was like, "Did you like it?" 'Cause that movie is super long. That's funny because if you watched, if Lewis would make you watch, Seven Samurai, that movie is very long. And it's directed by Kurosawa also. So,
But I think I am a stereotype of my generation that I have to redirect my attention every 30 seconds or so. So if there's like 30 minutes of really quiet talking about the honor of sons, I'm sorry, I'm not going to let it go. If I have to redirect and actively make myself pay attention to a movie that much, it's just, I don't enjoy it because I feel like I'm forcing myself to try to get through it, which going back to what our topic was, like that Italian bit, I have to always like kind of go back to, oh, well, she's still not having sex. She still can't get off. Like I always have to redirect back to it. So it's those things. I mean, this is common. If it's a slow sort of talking thing, it's just not for me. It's just really not.
but I also think that Kurosawa films are like, they're slow, but like they're just so breathtakingly beautiful, like beautifully shot, that like some of the set pieces in Ron and like Seven Samurai, you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is insane.
Like,
Specifically Ron, because
that the just certain set pieces were built out and stuff like that. And she was
yeah,
like,
I'm going to go with agree to disagree on this one.
like specifically,
I'm not impressed.
I was like, this is your Japanese Lord of the Rings, because he's getting so excited. He's like, they built that whole set. They built it. Do you see the set? I'm like, I see it. We're good.
Wasn't there a scene where there was no wind and he used fans?
Yeah.
And you turn them on and off?
7 fans, industrial fans that he built.
That's insane, dude. Like, oh man, but at least Ron, because like Seven Samurai is in black and white, but Ron has color, and it's like weird color.
Yeah.
It doesn't look normal. So I don't know.
The paint on the dead soldiers. I was like, what is this? What is this like dollar store movie where they're throwing red paint on dead people?
Well, Ron is what Shakespeare play is it?
King Lear.
King Lear. That's what it is.
And that's the thing. This was also Kurosawa's first attempt at color films. He never did a color film before.
Okay, but granted, I did come off of trying to watch a half hour of Dreams, so I was already not in the right mindset for another very slow, artsy movie. Because I had stuck through a half hour, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna finish Dreams. And then he was like, no, I can't listen to you bitch about this movie for another hour and a half.
Wow, Ron is really long. I didn't realize that Ron is almost 3 hours long. Holy shit.
It doesn't feel like 3 hours. It
feels like 5 or 6 hours of, this is purgatory, where I was thinking back to my last colonoscopy fondly as a better experience than sitting through.
That's how I felt watching, I don't even remember the name of the fucking movie that we're reviewing. The Woody Allen.
Was it Woody Allen about sex?
that one. It was like, the movie's like short. It's like, your average length of a film. And I was just like, kill me, bro. End me. I can't do this anymore. I can't, dude. Just stop it.
So overall, what would you give this movie?
4.
4?
I'm going to give it the coveted Lewis 4.
Babe, how about you?
I give this movie 8.5. I really like this movie because I really love Woody Allen, though, and I really think that this is just so much in his early style that I love that I'm going to say 8.5. It's still. I
forget. I know you're not supposed to ask a woman this, but Naomi, how old are you again?
Oh, I'm offended. I'm not really. I don't even remember. 35, I think.
35.
Right? Yeah.
So you're technically still millennial, right?
Technically, yes.
Yes. Okay. Did you grow up with this movie? Like, did you watch it as like a kid or something?
I did. So it probably has nostalgia for me.
That's okay. It was such an interesting movie to show to a child, but okay to grow up with. But hey,
you know what? I really enjoyed this movie a lot too. I didn't get introduced to this film until probably like 05, 06. So I saw it fairly recently, 14 years ago. But I just love this film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. But I could also see that it does have a lot of issues, and it is not accessible to a lot of people.
Oh, he's talking it up, so let's get the coveted 2. Whoa!
I give this movie a 7 out of 10.
Give it a 2, baby.
It's good. It's fun. I could always turn this on and have a good laugh. even if I skip some parts and go to the certain skits that I enjoy, especially the last skit. I love the freaking boob skit. I love the what do you call it, the genewilder one. Those are the ones that I go to constantly and I watch. Those I could tell you pretty much step by step. The rest, I kind of forget them. They're not like, stand out. But those 3 skits are so good that it's worth watch.
Man, I just fuck that movie. I just want to talk more about Kurosawa films with Naomi and how much she hates him, because that's way more interesting. That's way more interesting than this fucking piece of shit.
So, Branden, what films have you seen from Kurosawa though?
Not many actually. I seen.
Did you ever watch Akira?
No, so it's funny. I think I've only seen 2 of his films. I've never even seen Dreams, but I know it's like super like weird and avant-garde. And I've seen Ron and I've seen Seven Samurai. Actually, I sailed the 7 seas, and when I mean that, I pirated a movie. So if anybody is listening and has listened to manbitesfilm, you guys know that I've been playing that game, or I beat it. Ghost of Tsushima, which is about samurai, and I was like, man, I want to watch Seven Samurai, and unfortunately, none of his movies are. Well, they're on Criterion, right?
Yeah, all of them are.
But I'm lazy.
Hidden Fortress too, right?
Yeah. Sorry. So I've seen Hidden Fortress, Ron, and Seven Samurai, but I haven't seen like Yojimbo.
Can I break in for a moment? Can you guys just explain to me, what am I missing? Why do you love these movies so much? Because to me, this was painful agony. I want to scratch my eyeballs out and just stomp on them on the floor, because I feel like that would be less painful than sitting through these movies. I get it. You guys are saying they're beautiful, but they're so effing slow. Please explain to me. Like, I
love the plot of it. I love how...
Then watch King Lear in any of the other adaptations.
Fuck no, because William Shakespeare sucks ass.
I agree.
But you just said you love the plot. That's what it is.
Yeah, but I hate the execution that Shakespeare movies have.
Yeah, I don't.
They're usually pretty shitty.
That's true. I'll give you that. But so you love the plot, but what is it? I mean, about like a 3-hour.
Look,
I love everything about it. Go ahead, Branden, because she's heard my.
I'm a weeb at heart. A weeb, if you don't know what that means, Naomi, is I like Japanese culture. I like anime, and I like all that stuff. There's something really cool about samurai and that culture.
Yeah. Like,
Japanese culture is super interesting. Like, I played Ghost of Tsushima, and I literally went on this I dove into literally just looking up emperors of Japan. And it just baffles me that they're like literally like it's all one family, basically. It's like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, it's just super. I don't know, man. Japanese culture is really interesting. So, and I'm not saying that they're the only interesting culture on the face of this earth. They're not. But like when you compare them to something like us Americans, it's like we have no culture. They have thousands of years of culture, and we have like 300 years? Garbage. So,
and
I don't know.
I personally love the artistry behind each of these films.
Yes.
I love how each shot is a beautiful fucking canvas that's done. And then on top of that, the acting, I think it is incredible, the acting. The thing is, though, it is very jarring for a Western audience because they are very Japanese. And that's...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I honestly, like I was explaining to you, that a lot of the facial expressions, the reason that they're so extreme is because of what the hell is the name of the masks that they use? Branden, do you know?
What masks? What are you talking about?
The masks that they use for like theater plays and stuff like that. They
the ones that are like sad and happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of them, but basically what a Japanese theater was they would use those masks to express emotions. So the actual actor didn't express that emotion. So when it translated to film, they had those extreme expressions.
Okay, I'm going to say that I could get so much more on board with the anime that I watched. Like, I made you watch Garden of Words because I thought it was beautiful and it delved into the culture, but it was in a way that it was more approachable to me, I guess, because this was just so slow. And I was so disengaged by this that maybe I couldn't appreciate the beauty of it, but to me the story was so slow that I like the anime that I watched more to delve into the culture over this. I really did. And maybe it is so close to theater that's where it kind of lost me, because it is so it's overacting to a point, and everything has to be beautiful and very meaningful. And maybe I'm just like, it moves a little bit faster, and there's not so much emphasis on the beauty and the look and the expressions. Like, I don't sit through plays in the theater either, because I get disengaged from it usually. So
same.
Maybe that's what it is. But I do appreciate anime and how that introduces me to that culture,
but
in a more approachable way to me.
Naomi, also, like, I feel like Japanese acting, even anime, live action film, they tend to, that's like a thing of theirs. They over exaggerate everything.
Yeah. Right. But also the anime that you watched was extremely short, first of all. Mm-hmm. And second of all, it was modern. So it had that modern pacing. It had that modern storytelling style. So it was a little bit more accessible, I think.
That might be what I engage with more, because I appreciate modern Japanese culture.
Yeah.
I think more than historic Japanese culture, which is probably sacrilege, because they have a beautiful and very rich history, but it was very slow. I'm sorry, it was very slow.
I gotta say, I saw
Branden and I grew up watching movies like this. So
I grew up watching dirty sex movies. You guys watched esoteric Japanese cinema, so that tells you everything you need to know.
No, it becomes a little bit more accessible because we were raised watching movies like this. So it's that kind of slow pacedness is commonplace for us.
I don't know. Okay, I grew up with it to a certain extent, I think, but our paths like diverged at one point where like you were watching these kind of movies, and I grew up with like Toonami watching anime, and that's how I got into like Japanese culture and stuff. And like, we both got used to that slow pacing of just Japanese media, but just different ways. Yeah. So you're used to it. I'm used to it. I'm going to say I brought it up on manbitesfilm. That Viking anime, Vinland Saga, dude, I binged that shit in like 3 days. It's honestly, I think it's an anime that anybody can get into.
Wow. Okay.
It's super, super violent. Do not watch this in front of your kids. Do not. It is very, very violent. But it's very good. It's on Amazon. It's it's anime at the end of the day. It's definitely a little bit. There are moments where you're like, that's kind of fucking weird. Like to give you an example, there's a character, Thorkel. He's like this giant, like Viking, like Norse dude. And he literally, I'm talking like this man is fucking huge. And he tosses a fucking, like a tree trunk. Just a fucking tree trunk at like a ship, at a boat. And you're just like, yeah, this is where the anime comes in. But overall, it's really good. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you would like that, Naomi. It is Japanese media, but it's something else.
It's like, and maybe I'm like a stereotype of it because I don't think that Japanese cinema or anime, it's not super super mainstream, and a lot of people probably do share the same opinion that I have. And maybe it's because this is what the stereotype is, and they've sort of disengaged their audience with what it could be with the artistic side of it, and they're trying to reach a very niche audience. So I will try again. I will not try Dreams again. I would rather go through a invasive medical procedure than ever sit through that again. But
do you
were dancing in the forest. They were just literally just bopping around in the forest, and he had the really tall gold hat, which I could get on board with because I want a gold hat. But like in general, or like there were the cats in the forest, then there was like a snow angel that was coming down and talking to him, but it was really weird. It was so artsy. I'm sorry. It was like, it's, in the 70s, that stereotype of they walk around in all black clothing with the black beret on coming out of the cinema. And that's the type of person I imagine going to see these movies, like the very artsy, like we're going to be very intellectual about this and then go and like, I don't know, binge Holocaust movies for 5 hours. And I could not get into it.
Do you like Star Wars? Do you like Star Wars?
I could take it or leave it. I usually leave it.
Because I'm gonna say, if you like Star Wars and you like the plot, why don't you let her watch Hidden Fortress? It's the same fucking shit. I think
she might actually like Hidden Fortress.
More
accessible.
Yeah.
But the part about Star Wars I don't like is when he tries to be artsy, or there's long conversations about what they're gonna do. Or don't get me started on Anakin in the second episode 2.
The sand is coarse, Padme.
With him and Padma, he never lets me do anything or go anywhere. Oh God, I wanted to bitch slap him through the screen. I wanted to ask for my money back when that happened. No.
What the fuck's a youngling? That will
That was
forever
like
be embedded in my head.
Him playing Anakin was like spitting in James Earl Jones' face. I'm sorry. Like, that was no. I can't say no enough about that.
What do you...
The guy that was actually in the suit was the guy from Clockwork Orange, the guy that plays the Muscle Man in Clockwork Orange.
Of course you would know that.
The original guy, right?
Yeah, the original guy.
Because Hayden Christensen put on the suit in episode 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They made him put on the suit, which must have been like, honestly, as an actor, and that's probably a fan of Star Wars, that probably would have been like fucking super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, real random. What do you guys think of Disney
Random?
Plus?
What's that? We don't do random here.
Random? How do you guys feel about Disney Plus charging $30 to watch Mulan?
I think it's a good idea. I mean,
that's a lot of money, though.
What the fuck moment? Oh, sorry.
I don't mind them charging, but $30 fucking dollars.
I mean, that was no. Come on,
how much do you spend when you go to the movie theater with your?
But you
kids?
can buy the DVD for like $20 when it comes out.
Yeah, but you're getting it beforehand. Like, it's the
but
same
you're not.
thing as
No,
going to the movie theater.
that is such a ripoff. $30, no way.
And you have unlimited access to the movie until you close the membership.
You already bought Disney Plus, so they shouldn't be charging $30 for that movie.
It's not $30 for the movie. It's actually $30 for the Plus service. So that's
what I'd say about that.
Actually, technically, it's $15 for the movie.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. What?
So the $30 is actually included in their bundle package. What you're doing is you're getting a Disney Plus exclusive or some bullshit like that, whatever the fucking word is, and it's $30 a month that you're paying for their exclusive content that's going to be coming out, which is basically the movies that are going to be VOD.
This is what's going to make this movie fail, is charging $30 for it.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to do good because of that.
Charge me $10. I'll rent it. I'll have a good time. Charge me $20. Don't charge me $30. 30's ridiculous. That's the thing.
It's not 30. Ridiculous. What they did a horrible job of marketing this and saying that it's going to be $30 for the rental, when technically it's only $15, because most people, they got that bundle package where Disney comes with ESPN and it comes with Hulu, right? Mm-hmm. That's what most people got. So that's $15 a month right there. And then this new Plus service is $30, and you get any video on demand VOD movie that is released under Disney. So that means Mulan. That means what's that other thing that's coming out this year that's Disney?
I don't know, actually.
There's a couple of movies that are coming out that are Disney. Anything that's Disney related that during this whole COVID thing will be part of that package. So any new movies that would have come out in theaters is going to be part of the VOD Disney package for $30 a month. So you're paying $15 a month to watch Mulan Unlimited, which is rare as fuck, because VOD you're charged $20 one time, and you could only watch it one time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not like for like a set amount of time, like 2 days or whatever?
It's one time and you're done.
That sucks.
Yeah. So that's VOD for $20, and people have been banking off of that for the last 3 months.
No, I think
the thing that Disney did was they did a fucking horrible job at marketing how they're going to release this.
Okay, but I'm sorry, but how does this work for someone like me that I don't pay for the bundle with fucking Hulu and
paying $20 extra to watch the movie, which is the same that you would pay for a VOD anyways, or a theater ticket for that matter.
So what? Are they never going to release Mulan on Disney Plus for everybody?
No, they will eventually, but it's probably be 6 months down the road.
See, I can wait the 6 months.
Yeah, same.
Too. I'm not enthusiastic about it, but people are arguing about the VOD, and I'm like, that's kind of the wave of the future for a lot of things.
It is, but I feel like when people bought into Disney Plus, it was that everything would be on Disney Plus, and now they're adding on other stuff, so it just looks like they're gouging now.
But that's the thing. Mulan would be coming out in theaters or not coming out at all. So do you want it to come out or not?
I want it to come out on Disney Plus, which I already pay for, which is all access
and
to
it
Disney.
Will 6 months later.
Then I'll wait my 6 months, and they can't have their $30.
By the way, speaking of Disney Plus, you guys should totally watch. You can watch it with the kids too. Fucking Gravity Falls. That show is awesome.
I tried watching one episode. I couldn't get into it.
What was it?
Really?
What's it about?
I don't know.
It's basically these twins Mabel and Dipper, and they go to this small town called Gravity Falls to spend the summer with their grunkle Stan. And the town is super weird, and there's like monsters and like fucking mythical shit, and it's super cool. It's a really neat show.
Yeah, I don't know. Nisha made me watch it, and I was like, eh.
I like it a lot.
Well, target audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of my kiddos watch it.
Damn, are you calling me a kid?
Well, Branden, when you review only Disney Plus movies, yes.
I don't review only Disney Plus movies.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, I was like, huh?
That's William.
Well, I am known as the child in the show, which is fine. Just saying. But any closing thoughts for our crazy jumbled episode of Candlelit Blowjobs?
I just recommend anybody to check out Woody Allen movies. I think that they're very, very accessible. And on top of that, you get all-star cast for any of his movies. I really do. I admire his directing and writing so much. Out of the 6 movies that he released.
Jesus Lord, he had that many movies?
Yeah, he releases a movie. He writes and directs a movie every year since Annie Hall in the 70s.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I have about 47. So I'm missing about 10 of his movies.
Are they even good, like most of his movies?
Oh, I would say about 80% are really good.
Okay.
And then there's a 20% that they're okay, but they're not up to par with the rest of his movies.
There are some that you definitely can feel like he phoned it in, or he just didn't put the same. Curse of the Jade Scorpion, I think, is a good example of like it's funny, but it's not nowhere near the level of some of his movies.
Yeah, and there's
I've never even heard of that movie.
You've never heard of it? Oh, if you want a treat, watch that one.
No.
Or Mighty Aphrodite. That
one is amazing.
Glorious.
That movie is amazing. Or Small Time Crooks. That is freaking awesome. I love that
That's
movie.
one of those under the radar movies that came out that were so good.
It is really good. That one's amazing.
That one, and then
but again, he takes these like really kind of weird offbeat topics and builds a great movie around it. Or Manhattan Murder Mystery, my personal favorite. Yes. So
yeah, which we'll be doing an episode soon about just strictly Woody Allen for Midnight Movie Nerds. Plug.
Look at you plugging your fucking show.
hey, we're also gonna do an on Kurosawa.
Yes.
She's like, I can't say this name.
Crunchy taco now.
I want to make her watch Ghibli films. I think that she will enjoy Ghibli films.
Ghibli's really good.
You give me shit about my pronunciation.
Hey. He was just
subtle about it. He was subtle about it.
No. I used to say Ghibli too, and then like people are like, "No, it's Ghibli." I'm like, "Okay,
it's like
whatever."
The whole GIF versus GIF. Everyone
It's GIF.
says it every different way.
Fuck the creator. He says it's GIF, and I'm like, then why is there no J? You asshole. Suck my dick.
That's the peanut butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So think.
Oh my god.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I think the Ghibli films, if you're willing to pay for HBO Max, I think they're on there.
Oh, I own a bunch of them.
Or you can sail the 7 seas.
What?
Pirate.
Oh, I was like, what? It's like, what the hell?
You are a pirate. That's how I say. Whenever I do that, I sail the 7 seas. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's. I think you like them.
Pirate. That's what he is.
I'm a butt pirate. Exactly.
You know, you like that ass stuff.
Just show her like specific ones. Show her like Kiki's Delivery Service.
You have to follow up with that sentence. Make sure people know what you're referring to.
Me?
You got to show her stuff. Yeah. Okay. After we're talking about butt stuff, you gotta throw the context back in there.
Oh, yeah. Show her the Ghibli film. The Ghibli. Yeah, show her like specific ones, like Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to show her is Mononoke.
They are slow though, Naomi. So just bear with them. But they are nowhere near as long as a Kurosawa film.
How about this? I will watch a few, and then you guys can re-invite me back again and I can maybe retract my hatred of all slow Japanese cinema.
And actually, it's funny because that's what we were gonna do this episode. We are actually gonna do Ghibli films, and I was like, we both got to talking, and we're like, no, let's make him watch this Woody Allen movie and see if he enjoys it. Because I've been trying to make you guys watch this movie for a very long time, but the day that they had it up, that we realized that it was up on Hulu, they took it down like 2 days later. Remember that fiasco?
Yes. That's why this movie sounded familiar. I was like, is this the movie that Lewis was talking about a while ago?
And that's why we haven't been able to do it on manbitesfilm. And I was like, God damn it, fuck it. We're making Branden watch this goddamn
because
movie.
You set it up that we can only watch streaming shit. Haha, shoot yourself in the foot, asshole. Dumbass. But no, honestly, not a great film. Don't do it to yourself. It's not great. Don't do it to yourself. Any closing thoughts, Naomi, before I wrap this shit up?
Well, I am going to say you may have hated it, but will you ever look at a sheep the same way now?
Or a boob.
There's kind of, sheep kind of cute. They have a weird face, though. Like, weird face. Not, God, what did you do, man? What happened? Like, the mouth. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with their mouth? They look really soft, though. I've never touched an actual sheep, but they look soft.
It's going down a wrong road now.
Do you want to touch a sheep now, Branden?
Not like that, you sickos.
You should mail him some black panties to put on a sheep.
Oh, no.
Do you want to softly rub the coat of a sheep?
Sure. Chops. Sure, but in a non-perverse sexual way. Just, rubbing it because it's soft and feels nice.
Do you want to put your face next to the sheep?
On that note.
Let's wrap up this condom.
Yes. Ew. Ew. Not like that. Oh, this is way longer. I was like, this is going to be 20 minutes max. 30, maybe. And then here we are.
Never with us.
Never. Actually, you didn't tell me that Naomi was coming on, so I was like, I don't know how much we're going to have to say about this. And then...
Yeah, I wanted to keep that a surprise.
It's fine. Woody Harrelson. I mean, Woody Allen. Did that on purpose. Go watch it. It's streaming. Bro, I swear the title's so long that I don't remember it. Everything you always wanted to know about sex, but we're afraid to ask.
Too afraid to ask.
Yes. It's not streaming anywhere. You have to buy it.
A couple of places where it's streaming with commercials, I think it was.
You are a pirate. Maybe. I don't know. So honestly, thanks for joining. Thank you, Naomi. This was fun. This was a surprise.
Well, thank you, Branden.
No problem. As always, if you enjoyed our show, listen to our main show, manbitesfilm, which I'm also the host of, and Lewis, of course, is there, and Denk, he's there too, but doesn't matter. I'm kidding.
It's actually streaming on DirecTV, so if you have DirecTV, you can actually get it.
That's weird. Okay. Also, what is your show that you guys do that you plugged so subtly like 10 minutes ago?
We do whenever we feel like it, pretty much. Midnight Movie Nerds live through Facebook and YouTube, so you have to subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be able to watch our glorious videos. And we are actually coming up with a Kurosawa
crunchy taco.
It's not Kurosawa, it's more Japanese oriented, and we got some wonderful treats from Japan that we're going to be eating while watching the movies and stuff like that.
Fuck yes.
That Naomi is going to punish me by making me eat these natto candies.
Eat natto. Oh man. You know what natto is before I close this show out?
What is?
Natto?
I've heard of it.
It's fermented soybeans, but they're like in this like weird mucus.
I remember that.
They smell really bad, and like people eat them there. Danny, my friend, the one that came up with the name of the show, went to Japan like a year or two ago, and he ate them, and he was like, "That was the most vile shit I've ever put in my mouth."
We'll pass on that.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
Make
that's
Lewis
actually coming
eat
out
that.
this weekend. So
Awesome. And also check out Lewis's other show, which you're no longer a part of, but you produce it.
yes.
Movie Mainline.
Yes. And of course, the thing that's on this feed all the time. So please subscribe to this feed. Check us out on YouTube as well. Manbitesfilm, where it's the three idiots with the mic plus Zach.
Plus Zach. He's not an idiot.
No.
He never has been.
He's not one of the idiots. He's the
He's
plus. He's
too
one.
smart.
He's the plus one in our group.
So how does it go? Like, I'm the least idiot, you're the second, and then
Would you
Dank.
say that?
Huh? All right, guys. As always, also check out our sister site, diverselygeek.org, and our brother from another mother, Jack. Oh my God, I was about to say Jack. I don't know why Jack came into my mind. The fuck, John, over at YouTube at Narcotic Casserole. And always, of course, I can't speak English. Just end my suffering. Keep those candles on.
Those bath salts.
There you go. Thank you.